You got the new single Salute out.
Mm-hmm.
You've been dropping a lot of music. From what I can understand, man, this is all about your journey, man. Talk
Yeah.
about your journey.
In 2000 well, I'll say I started writing music when I was really young, maybe like 12 years old.
Yep.
And we started touring. My father is still my manager.
Yeah.
And but when I was much younger, we had a group called Excel. It was like 7 of us.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Very familiar with that.
And we were touring, having a good time. I got a little older, went to college to play basketball.
Okay.
And I told myself that I would keep writing music and doing those things. But then I grew a family.
Yeah.
The years kept on going by to the point where I slowed down with music. But then the Lord revealed to me again, well, you need to pick it up. I remember in 2020, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. I'm not sure if you want me to go there. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know the story, man. So
Yeah.
go ahead and tell it.
But I was dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of depression in my life, and one day I was driving a Lyft. One morning. I was so happy because I was like, I got the amount of money for this morning. I can go home happy. You know what I'm saying? So when I got that money, I was happy going home. When I got off of an exit, I was on the highway. When I got off on the exit headed home, I felt like this heaviness. It felt so heavy that my vision started to get like dark and blurry. So I tried to shake it off. And when I tried, I ended up waking up in the hospital with wires out of my body. This is where the song N1 came from. And, stuff hanging out my head. And, my wife was beside me and my mom was at my feet. And I woke up, my wife was like, Dom. I said, what's up, baby? She said, you had a seizure. I was like, what? She said, you had a seizure. The doctor said you had a seizure. I was like, what you mean? They did the brain scans, found out that it's epilepsy. And so I had a few more seizures. Every time I had one, though, I felt like the Lord revealed something to me. And one of the last things I remember was having one, waking up and seeing my oldest son, Santana, and my wife beside me. And the Lord telling me as I woke up, get up and go to work. Go to work. As I'm praying and fasting through that, what he was saying, it came back to music.
Wow.
It came back to music. It's like, this is the thing that's going to keep you secure enough to where you won't fall down and have more seizures. The Lord touches us.
Oh, yeah.
He allows Satan to touch us sometimes, and so at that time, I felt like there was some tests, and it still is, because if I get too far away from the Lord and far away from what I need to do, then it gets dark again.
You and I were having a personal conversation about what success looks like.
Yeah.
And I know the country, the society has made success look a certain way. You grew up playing the keys, the drums. Music is in your blood.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was a soul artist. Your father is a Hall of Fame radio personality. So creating is in your space.
Yes.
It's in your blood. Do you ever think that we are only meant to create, and God gives us certain areas of our lives where he can allow us to get to that place of peace through what it is, and that it's the jobs, it's corporate America that we take on that's causing the depression, that's causing the anxiety, that's causing us to feel less than. Have you ever thought about that for your own self?
Yeah, I have. I feel like, because it's a good question, do we, what was it? Do we create? Do we only think about creating? I think for me personally, that's one time, at one point in my life, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Again, until these different things started hitting me. And then I realized not only do I need to create, I need to listen.
Yeah.
And not listen to like tangible person, like a physical person, which is good too, because the Lord can use anybody. But how am I praying? Am I praying enough? Am I reading scripture enough? And as I'm doing both of those things, am I allowing myself to learn, just as I'm learning to create?
Yeah.
And the corporate world has its ways of allowing us to create, but ultimately, just from my perspective, we're able to create more through ourselves, our natural ability. We can go to the corporate space and excel there too. In association with that, though, I think that creativity is just as important as listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's talk about it, man. So your testimony is that you are seizure free.
Yes.
Seizure free, and we're going to continue to believe God for that.
Amen.
But you also are at this space in your life where, the music is bubbling again, and you've got so many different things that are happening all at once. You just got on the Kingdom Business Tour.
Yes.
God is doing so many different things for you. Have you thought about what it was like when you went through that journey, when you went through that accident?
Yeah.
How God is giving you this second chance and what you're doing with it?
Oh, that's a good question. Shout out to Canton Jones, the OG. Been out here for 20-something years.
Longer than that, man.
This man.
Yeah, about 20-something. Oh, yeah.
Look, this dude dropped. I was clowning him last night on the stage because this dude dropped a 60-song album last year.
I saw that, and I was asking him, what were you thinking?
What in the world are you doing? I told him the only person I know that did something like that was Chris Brown. They're he got a 30 song.
He told me the story. He said somebody stole his computer.
Yes.
And the name of the album is actually My Computer Broke, right?
He make a song out of anything. Out of anything.
It was no. Was it somebody stole his computer or the computer crashed?
Somebody stole his computer.
Somebody stole his computer.
The testimony behind it is crazy too, though.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then he turns around and recreates every song.
Every single 60-something. So I listened to all 60 of them within the last 3 days, just so I can respect. I gotta show him some respect. I was like, yo, this, and he has a lot of DJ songs, which I think is dope, like commercial songs that people can be in parties and do slides to and stuff like that. Oh
yeah, man.
Yeah, he got some bangers. But to answer your question, being back out there is it's inspiring, especially being back out there and as short amount of time as I have been out there, getting the amount of opportunities that I've gotten with the people that I've gotten them with.
Yeah.
Canton Jones is one person with a lot of influence. I have some friends back in Durham that are the same way, and with Black Wall Street. It makes me feel like I'm doing something on purpose again.
Yeah.
And it also makes me feel like my life is coming back together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was lost for a while. Still am, making sure that within these different things that are going on in my life, that I'm doing something like music. And the Lord is allowing me to be blessed by that. So I'm enjoying the tour. It's not the same as when I was 12. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I get tired.
Yeah.
I get a little sleepy now. I'm like, damn. My dad was looking at me like, he talking about, what's up, superstar? I was wondering, I wonder why he keeps saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he probably know me hitting this road is not a joke. It's not a joke, bro.
Yeah. So you also got Writer's Block Academy.
Yes.
Music Academy, where you help other people, artists, develop themselves, right? And you focus on mental wellness, mental well-being.
Yeah.
Talk about how God gave you that gift and what you're doing to steward it.
I developed Writer's Block after my first EP, Pour One, dropped in 2019. And it was something when we were growing up in church and writing music, we had young people come up to us and ask us to help them write music. And it came back to me. I forgot about it, but 2019 when I dropped my album, I was like, dang, maybe I can do something here in Durham, and what I had the opportunity, the first nonprofit that I was a director for, to be able to work with people in their instruments to help them decrease suspension and absenteeism in Durham. Okay. And so I was with black boys that were in the streets that played the cello and were bringing the cello.
The cello. Okay.
I'm talking about some hood kids that's in jail right now.
Playing the cello.
Playing the cello. Whole box suites and everything. So I took that time when I was, at that nonprofit, and I told myself, well, if this is working here, then it could work anywhere. And so I started doing the same thing in high schools. I was fortunate enough to develop some relationships with principals, counselors, social workers in like 5 different high schools in Durham, where I was doing the same thing like during school hours, like kids that were suspended in school suspension for a certain amount of times, and they would come to me during a certain time in school, and I would teach them as a group. Like we would come together, do some activities, and ultimately be taught how to write their own music and how to distribute their music.
Okay.
Same thing with the middle school. The middle school kids don't be listening like that, so I was just like, okay, let me try elementary school.
Yeah.
And that's where I am now. The thing that's different now is I am working with young people who are autistic.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a different space, but it's still familiar because, I mean, I got to be honest. Like a lot of the kids that are autistic, and no slight against the general population, a lot of the kids that are autistic are at a much advanced level when it comes down to reading and writing and math than a lot of the general educated students. They might have some communicational, differences here and there, but when it comes down to me asking them, when I'm on the board saying, "Hey, let's write 4 sentences of a song. Think about whatever it is that comes to your mind that you want to talk about. We're gonna write it down and try to create a song from it." They'll give me a hard time a little bit, but then ultimately they're writing those sentences, So that's a beautiful thing. Working with elementary school students that, love Mr. Jones. They give me a hard time, but at the end of the day, they're gonna give me hugs all day.
I love that, man. Yeah, my oldest is autistic, and she's 12, and there's so many different things that I notice about her that I just think she's going to do really well in life with. So she's high functioning.
Okay.
So socially, there's some things that she has to work on.
Yeah.
But she has a therapist. Comes
dope.
to the house every day, from 6 days a week, and works with her a couple of hours a day. So I love the fact that she feels like she's part of Gen Pop. That she goes to school every day. But then she comes home and she feels like she's in her own element, And I think that's the thing with autistic kids.
Yeah.
They have to feel like they are in their own element. You can't change them from, you can't take them out of their routine.
Okay.
And you got to make sure that they are comfortable, and that they understand things the way they're supposed to process. Because my daughter processes things differently.
Okay.
We'll say, "Man, there's a pie in the sky," and she's like, "Where's the pie?"
Okay. Okay.
And it's just a saying.
Yeah.
So it's things like that.
I
So
appreciate that.
I get exactly what you're saying, bro. Like that's important. That's important work that you're doing.
Yeah. That's
and
gonna help me.
Huh?
What you're giving me is gonna help me.
Oh yeah. I hope so, man. I hope so, because it's really important to know what these kids are going through, and then also, man, see the genius behind it.
Yeah.
Bill Gates has autism.
Okay.
Albert Einstein had autism.
Okay.
So it's like the gentleman who predicted the recession in 2008, he had autism.
Okay.
They dig a little deeper.
All right.
They can stand to brain won't turn off like my brain turns off.
Okay.
So they'll go a little deeper. They'll research the economic growth and development patterns a little longer than the average person would. They'll go into their garage and figure out Microsoft when nobody else is going that deep. So that's a lot of advantages that they have there.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And so I think the work that you're doing, man, is so important. It's so needed. How is it helping you as therapy for what you've been through?
Well, music is my therapy.
Yeah.
But also, as I'm creating music and seeing people's responses to my music is also therapeutic. But I take it even a step further. Me seeing the byproduct of these kids smiling, and laughing, going from being sad every day when I see them to laughing and having energy. Those things help me. Those things help me to continue wanting to like further writer's block, and to be honest, it helps me continue wanting to make music.
Oh yeah.
When I see the kids laughing and smiling, after such long, because some of these kids, they don't come from loving homes, maybe like your daughter. Some of these kids really have issues with their parents, like abuse.
Wow.
Misunderstanding, that they can't get through. And when they come to the writer's block and I see them with dirty clothes and their faces are dirty, they got dirty shoes on, they smelling some type of way, and they feeling liberation as they're writing. And they're like, Mr. Jones, and shout out to my 2 assistants, instructional assistants for allowing writer's block to take place. But yeah, it's the kids for me in association with the music. No doubt. I mean, no slight to the adults. I love my adult listeners, but those small kids, seeing them happy is what gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take right now on music culture, where we are right now?
Oh God, you talking about gospel music?
Yeah, gospel music, Christian hip hop, all of it.
Oh man. Well, I know that probably back home there's a station called 103.9 that's still playing the same songs that they were playing when I was a small child. So it probably that gospel, some gospel stations, is still playing the same music from Dottie Peoples and Shirley Caesar. You know what I'm saying?
My grandmother's music.
Right, and that's what's up. I think that the music industry could do a better job of becoming more diverse, being more open to maybe independent artists, but the independent artist needs to make sure that they are presenting the right way, that they know what they're doing, that they have good representation. When it comes down to Christian hip hop, because I don't want to stay this question too long, I have concerns.
Okay.
I do have concerns about Christian hip hop.
Okay.
Because a lot of the artists are starting to sound the same. I feel like everybody. I love Lecrae. I think everybody's wanting to sound like Lecrae.
Yeah.
Or a different artist, or a lot of Christian artists want to sound like Kendrick Lamar or somebody, instead of them just being their authentic selves.
Yeah.
They're trying to duplicate sounds.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of I was talking to one of my homeboys I created my cousin music with when we were younger. We fell in love with artists like I'm not sure if you heard of the Tunnel Rats out in the West. Yeah. Like different artists like that aren't afraid to be different. Like their beats were off the wall sometimes they were talking about different things, but ultimately you knew that they loved Christ.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily have to sound alike.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I feel like the music I create is respectful toward the industry, but I also believe it's just different. I feel like it's a different vibe. That's a good question though. How do I feel about the music? And last thing I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
If our people in the gospel music industry could work together on the business side of things a little bit more, and maybe do less of competing when it comes down to finances. If we could become just a little bit more literate as a gospel body of musicians to help each other more and find creative ways than we're just taking away. For example, your t-shirt line.
Yeah.
As a gospel artist, we need to be buying your merchandise.
Hey, I appreciate that. Hey.
We need to be buying your merch. Look, right just by design. We need to be doing that. But then how many people going to want an interview with you without buying your merchandise?
You said how many people go into interviewing with me?
How many people would want to interview? It's a lot of artists that is gonna want Ryan Righteous to interview them all the time.
So you know what's crazy, man?
Yeah.
This whole brand came together because of Ion, the producer.
Hey, that's
I
the
was
homie.
man, I was on the phone with him, and he
He's
was
such a
just
good
like,
dude. He's
"Yep,
such a good dude.
but he's such a good dude."
Goodness.
I was on the phone with him, and he was just like, "Bruh, like, why do you feel like you have limited yourself?" And I was like, and then he was like, "Why are you limiting yourself to like just these ideas that are in your head that haven't come out yet?" And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Bro, like, where's your merch line?" I was like, "What you mean, where's my merch line?" I was like.
Right.
He was like, "Bro, you Ryan Righteous,
Right,
Trackstarz." He's like, "Man,
right.
people would want to wear
Oh, for sure.
something to support you." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Really?" I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, okay." So, yeah, man. So I got off the phone with him and I was like, "Bro, 2 days from now, hit me back, see how I'm doing." 2 days later, had a whole line set up, all because of Ion, pressing me, man.
Shout
so
out to
yeah,
Ion.
that's
Love
my
you,
guy,
bro.
man.
Love
That's
you,
my
dog.
guy, man. Love him to death,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Love him to death. He's good dude.
Yes, sir.
And so, I asked you that question because I also wanted to ask you too, like, being a staple, being part of a legacy family of the gospel.
Yeah.
Glorilla won a BET award for best gospel album,
Right.
best gospel song.
Right.
What are your thoughts about that?
I don't even really listen to Glorilla.
No,
like
of
that.
course not.
I'm not even familiar with. When I heard about that, I was like, I wonder what that means to the gospel industry, because I don't really know about it. I don't know if it's the same as T.I. being featured on the Lecrae album this time. Maybe not, because it's not an award for gospel music.
Well, it's a little different. It's a little different because it was her album that Kurt Franklin and Maverick City got on, but it was like that one song was clean, but the rest of it was just debauchery.
And she won the whole album of the year?
She won the song.
Oh, the song of the year?
Yeah. But it was crazy because, like I said, the album.
So you gonna take everybody from the gospel industry, go to the album now?
Yeah, they gonna go to the album.
They gonna go to the album.
Charlemagne God, he asked Darkchild, he said, "Isn't it good that she won?" And Darkchild was like, "Nah, ain't it good?"
Yeah.
He was like, "How you gonna give an award to somebody who's living 10% of their life for Christ?
That's real.
And then 90%
That's real.
outside of that."
That's real.
And then he was just like,
not a
"But
whole
you got."
award.
He's like, "But you got 100% of the people living this way, putting the music out, and then they get looked over."
That's real. Yeah. Now I agree with that. I definitely agree with that part, because I don't even know how long Glorilla been making. How old is she? 20, 23?
She's young.
You know what I'm saying? So that is a really great point. That there's a lot of people that have been putting in the work that continue to get overlooked. I think that's why a lot of reasons why a lot of gospel artists do go to secular music, or they stop making music altogether, because of that very reason.
Yeah.
Gospel industry say, "Oh, we got a hip hop person that came from a secular background. Let's spice them up a little bit." Which they should have did that with Kanye West, if that's the case.
Yeah. And it's not supposed to be like that, man.
Yeah.
Sean challenged me one day. He said, if God left us where we were on our 9-to-5s for the next 40 years of your life, and Trackstarz didn't get another fan, another dollar, didn't do anything else, would you be okay with that? And I was like, "No, I ain't okay with that." It was like, and then at that moment, I had to tell God, I had to repent and say, "Lord,
Right.
whatever you want from me, I'm okay with."
We gotta be.
But in that moment, human vibes kicked in. Like, nah, I need this to succeed because I put 20 years into this, and I want my children to be able to benefit off of this, and I want them to be able to take the mantle of what we're doing and grow it 10 times stronger than what we're doing with it.
For sure.
And so when he said that, man, I was like, I was on my way on my way home from my corporate job. And I said, I don't want to go back here tomorrow. I don't want to do this again.
Ooh, that's
This
amazing.
is crazy.
Yes.
But I think that's what it is, man. I listened to a sermon by Billy Graham that said we were not created to work 9-to-5s.
He's a beast.
And I said, if he said that back in the 60s.
He's a beast, man.
And it stands true to today. Because I can tell you that every time I get into a corporate America job, God closes that door.
Yank it right out.
And I'll be like, yo, but I need to.
Right. Why can't I
do
be
something.
here?
Yeah, I need to do something. Let something work out. And so no, I think it's very important that we understand like exactly what it is God has called us to, and see success in it. You know,
Amen.
I think a lot of times we call success the house, the car, the financial stability.
Yeah.
And the success could be, no, man, you're changing lives. You're doing
Absolutely.
something with young people. My last job, 7 years, I was a nonprofit recruiter for a program that reached out to young adults,
Okay.
Ages 18 to 26,
Okay.
that came from low income families and couldn't afford to go to college.
Okay.
And so we trained them up in IT to help them get good jobs. And now some of them dudes call me back and be like, bro, I'm making 6 figures already.
Yeah.
Like, geez,
Right.
what in the world? So yeah, man, it does happen that way.
Yeah.
It does happen that way. But it's a blessing nonetheless, man.
sure.
And now I just want to encourage you, man, to keep doing what you're doing. It's needed. It's important. I wish you would bring it to Atlanta so my kids could take advantage of it. My daughter plays the clarinet.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Gotta
Yeah,
hope.
she plays the clarinet.
Let's get it.
And so I'm proud of her, giving it her best try, her best effort. And all of my kids, actually, man, they've played piano. They've done different things. My son is 4, and we have a baby grand piano in the living room, and he'll just get in there and start
practice.
Yeah, practicing, man. It's like, okay, this is the future that's headed up, man. So
That's
no,
right.
but I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate the great work that you do.
Yes, sir.
You as an artist, man, you have inspired us. You've been a family member to Trackstarz. You've been here before, so you're not a
y'all.
stranger.
sure.
And I just want you to keep up the good work, bro. Like, you come from great stock, and you have such a good, solid, pure gift about you.
Thank you.
So please continue to nurture that gift, man, and thank you for your testimony, man. You shared some things today about God that some of us can only imagine that encounter would be like. You know, all of us have encounters with the Holy Spirit, man. But for you to have like been in an accident where you're fine 1 minute and then God calls you to rest the next minute, and you wake up not knowing how you got where you were. But then in that time frame, man, God revealed himself to you.
Yes.
And even through your seizures, he's revealed things to you.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely a blessing, man, to see you thriving and surviving, man, and doing such a great job with it.
Thank you, brother.
Tell everybody how they can support you, what to look out for next. I know you've been dropping single after single after single. Salute is right what you're pushing right now. But tell everybody how they can find you and what to look for next.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I would definitely say the primary way is to listen to my music.
Yep.
Love it, share it if it's something that attracts you to the kingdom. My name is spelled A-R-V as in Victor, E-T-R-A, D for Dominic Jones. So you can find that anywhere music is that you listen to music, Arvetra D Jones. I would say that's the primary way to support me. I would say an additional way would be supporting the Writer's Block.
Yes.
And you can feel free to give all the donations from the Writer's Block go to Durham, a Durham public school representative, superintendent coming in speaking to the kids. It also comes to record producers coming in with equipment for the kids to record.
Okay.
It comes to snacks, T-shirts, pencils, notebooks, everything that a child in elementary school would need to succeed and write and distribute music. That comes with the Writer's Block. So feel free to donate if you're led. I have a whole LLC in that regard, and so you'll be able to write it off if you need to.
Yeah.
But you can contact me about that through my email, which is Arvetra, ARVETRA D @gmail.com. And I'll point you into the right direction. Feel free to send donations, send thank yous, any type of referral to a philanthropist or an organization that may want to support the things that the Writer's Block is about. I'm with that. Anything.
Oh, man. Amen.
Yes, sir.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Well, listen. Boy, that was a special interview, man. I'm so glad you guys stuck around to the end. My man, Arvetra D Jones, was in the building.
Amen.
And so all I can do is tell you to stay tuned for what's next. This is your man, Ryan Righteous. This is the Independent Artist Spotlight. And we're out. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Go check it out.
out the spotlight. Okay. Making sure you shine bright. Okay. Rhyme righteous, that's right. Okay. Trackstarz too hype. Okay.